What's up, guys? I recently went to a Comic-Con. I've gone to two before, and they were smaller ones. This was a bigger, like, Fan Expo Dallas. And yeah, there were like a couple thousand people in there, and so everyone was like really close to each other. Like, you couldn't reach your arm out and you probably like hit another person. So thankfully I did not get sick. Before, I did do some research online and got a lot of good info, but there was a lot of stuff that I didn't know that I wish I had known. So I wanted to make this video, and help my subscribers out. Okay, so this is for you guys. So let's see, got a list here. So first thing is these fan expos and these big like conventions. Like, they're usually in the big cities. Usually like celebrities, actors, the comic book people go there. So a lot of people, and so when I went, there was no parking nearby where the event center was, and so I had to park like much further away. And what happened was I found a parking lot that was way further away, and there was a guy there that was kind of facilitating it, as a lot of parking lots do have like some guy like helping people like park there. It's this much, whatever. So he told me to park, and then I paid him $20 for the day. And they do jack up the prices during like these big weekend events like this. So whatever, $20 for the day, paid him. He prints out a little ticket, tells me to put it in front of the windshield. So I do that. I come back about a couple hours later, I think around 5:30, and I have a ticket on my car windshield, and it says like they came by at 5:15 and checked and saw I didn't pay for the parking. So I'm just like, what the heck is going on? Because they put it like right on top of the tag I had. So yeah, turns out there are two scams going on here. So one is the guy that pretended to work for the parking lot. I'm usually pretty good at spotting scams, but this is a good one. So parking lots usually do, like, especially during like busy times, you go to LA, like you visit Hollywood and stuff, there's parking lots and there's guys running them and stuff. So no one would really question if like an official looking guy came up to you, printed out a ticket for you and everything. So you're not gonna like roll up your window and be like, I'm just gonna park and then go check the machine in the front. So I saw him get a bunch of people through that scam. So I mean, scamming's bad obviously, but like pretty smart scam, to be honest. So good for him. He probably got like $400 from that, maybe. The second part of the scam is by the parking company. So I looked online. They have about 1.5 stars on Yelp. A lot of people calling it a scam. Basically, they know the guy is there scamming, and they kind of allow it to happen, and they don't send anyone to stop it. And what they do is wait till it's near the end of the day, and then they send out someone to give the tickets for the fines, because they'd rather get the $100 fine than the $14 or $20 a day actual parking fee. So yeah, seems like a lot of people, what they do is they don't want to fight it, so they just say like, oh, I'll just pay the $80 or whatever. So I'm not gonna pay it because it's not an official ticket, and they can't really do anything. They can't tow my car. It's not there anymore. But it does look like they got a lot of people with this scam. So I'm sure like this happens in a lot of big cities where these events take place. So that's just something to look out for. Let's see. Next, I would say is like, here's a list of like what to bring, right? So one of the most important things I would say is like, bring a backpack. If you have a lot of stuff you want to get signed, make sure you bring a backpack to carry all your stuff, right? So it's pretty basic. Next, I would say get one of these boxes if you have comics you want to get signed. They're pretty cheap. I think about like $10 each. Yeah, it keeps the comics. It keeps the comics like secure and stuff. So it's a pretty good investment. Next, I would say is like, bring food. Bring like a sandwich or something. Last time I went to a smaller con, I didn't have to wait around in line for food. This time I waited an hour for an overpriced hot dog. It sucks. It was horrible. And this is time You could be resting, you could be exploring, getting stuff signed. So my advice is just bring your own food. Like, you'll save some money, and it's a big time saver. Like, bring a sandwich or something, put it in your backpack. Next, lanyard. Bring your own lanyard. So I know it sounds dumb, but the pass you bought online isn't the actual pass. You have to show them like a QR code. They scan it, and then they give you like this physical pass that you have to scan every time. So they expect most people to just want to wear it, right? But they don't give you a lanyard. They sell one on the side for $5. And luckily I had one just like in my bag. So, I was able to take advantage of that. But yeah, I'd say just bring one just in case, like it's I know it's only $5, but all that money adds up. So yeah. Let's see. Next, Sharpies. Bring your own Sharpies if you want to get stuff signed. A lot of guests do have their own Sharpies, but most of them only have black Sharpies, and they're signing stuff all day, so it gets worn out quickly. So when it gets to your book, like, there's a very big chance that when they sign yours, it'll be worn out. So make sure you bring your own. I bought this. It was okay. I tested it out at home. It was okay. But these ran out pretty quickly. Sharpie, yeah. These ran out pretty quickly. So I had to switch. I wanted silver. I had to switch to gold and then to bronze. So it's unfortunate. Like, here's one of the books I got signed. It's Jim Lee on the bottom, and then on the top, Phil Jimenez. So you can see the gold is pretty faded out. So yeah, I would go to the store, buy multiple sets of these, just in case. Let's see next. Speaking of getting stuff signed, one thing to keep in mind is line etiquette. And what I mean by that is be smart and use your brain, okay? So I was in a line for Jim Lee, and he was the most popular artist by far. And so his line went like this. They had to, it was so long that they had to kind of zigzag it. And so what a lot of people did was they unknowingly cut in line, right? So at the points of where the line turns, they got in line, right? And a lot of people were just looking at him like, what are you doing? And so if you want to get something signed, don't just cut in line and think there's no line, right? Ask the people around if they're actually in line or not, and they'll tell you. So yeah, just be smart about it. Let's see. Bring a lot of cash. A lot of artists and vendors do accept card, but a lot of them don't. So make sure you bring a lot of cash on you, 5, 10s, 20s. Because a lot of the ATMs there are some ATMs there, I think, but they do have fees and stuff. So you might as well just bring your cash ahead of time. Signing. So I've met a few celebrities at these things before. They do charge a lot more, but this time around I just wanted to get my comic book signed and by the artists and writers and stuff. And so on the Fan Expo website, they never list how much they charge for their signatures, but the actors and stuff do. So I had to look around online, and a lot of people were saying different things. Based on my own experience, a couple years ago at the smaller cons, a lot of artists would sign books for free, all books for free, or one or two for free, and then but then people were turning around and flipping the books and stuff, and I'd probably be pretty pissed about it too. So a lot of people were telling me it's 40, 50, 60 bucks a signature nowadays, which really wasn't true. Most of the people I encountered were 5 to 10 bucks, and a lot of them did sign for free as well. Jim Lee was the most expensive one, which, I mean, he is the most popular artist probably at the moment, and so his was $50 a book. So yeah, but all the other artists and writers and stuff, it's usually 5, 10, maybe 20, but that's pretty rare. So speaking of Jim Lee, I did do the Jim Lee event, which was pretty cool. Paid $100, you get 3 items signed, and you get a signed poster by him. So, and you get seating for his Q&A session, which is pretty cool. So I'll be posting those videos later. Let's see what else. He also does additional signing for $50 an item later on, and so I got 5 items signed, and so I was kind of in a hurry when I was planning all this out, so I made a pretty huge mistake. I'm sure some of you have caught it. If you did, just learn from my mistakes. Keep it to yourself. Don't need to write it in the comments. But yeah, like I was saying, I did get that free poster. So I was carrying it around like without really any way to store it. It's a lithograph, so like it doesn't fold the way, it doesn't roll up the way like posters do really. Like it's made of like pretty thick material. So moving forward, like if you go to these things, like, and you know you'll be picking up like posters, prints, and that sort of thing, like make sure you get one of those big artist's bags, those like big square bags that you can just put it in, and you can put it to the side and it won't get damaged and stuff while you're walking around. So yeah, lastly, I'll show you guys some of the stuff I got signed. So I showed you guys this book already before. What's wrong with this camera? Sorry about that, guys. Camera's acting really weird right now. But yeah, these are some books I got signed. This is Infinite Crisis number 5. First, Jaime Reyes as Blue Beetle. There's a movie upcoming, and I like the character a lot, so I'm excited to see Zolo play him. And yeah, I got it signed by Jim Lee and Phil Jimenez. Pretty cool. Let's see. Some other Jim Lee books I got signed. I got the full, here, there's some glare. I'm gonna close the window. I bought the full Hush storyline, full Hush run a while back. Shout out to that Spider-Man booth, great seller. And yeah, I got it for a pretty decent price, and so that was the story that got me into Batman, so I've always wanted to get it signed. This one, you know, first Hush, first Tommy Elliott, I believe. So yeah, gorgeous cover, you know, Batman, 2 lovely ladies on there. Oh yeah, and this was one of the ones that like Jim Lee signed it, but he used his silver Sharpie to sign it, and his was like running out, so you could kind of see it. Unfortunate, but I mean it happened. So mine had run out already, and I did want silver, so we used his, but his was running out too. So make sure you bring doubles. Alright, next book. This is one of my favorites. I've been looking for the other one, the one with him standing on the gargoyle, but this one's like, you know, the start of the Hush storyline. Nice signature right there. This was, I think, one of the first books he signed with the silver, so nice clear signature, gorgeous copy. Boom. See, and then this book, we actually like talked a little bit about this book, so I'll upload the video later. But this was the first comic book I ever bought, so pretty cool. Bought it as a kid, and I just thought it looked cool, and it turns out it's like a classic now. He did sign with blue, unfortunately. His silver, as I said, ran out, and I didn't have anything. And I was like, well, what about like gold? He's like, nah, gold's not gonna show up great on this. And so personally, to me, I mean, it's okay, like, you know, blue for Superman, but it's a little like, to me, it's like this. Sorry, my camera keeps cutting out for some reason. So yeah, this Superman book is pretty cool. I wish he had used silver so it could kind of match with the Batman book. But yeah, it's pretty cool. He's like, no, blue is good, and I wasn't about to argue with him. So yeah, still a really cool book. I've had it since I was a kid, and I don't know, somehow it's been like in really good condition. So I was happy to have him sign that. And then Lastly is this book. Really happy to get this one signed. And this was one of the earlier books he signed as well, so you can see really nice, clean silver signature. So yeah, this book is pretty rare. It's Amazing Heroes magazine, and then there's two versions of this. There's this yellow cover one, and then there's one with blue text here. The yellow one is supposed to be more rare, so I'm happy to get this one signed. It's gorgeous, gorgeous cover that he did, and it's an interview with Jim Lee and Chris Claremont on X-Men 1. A lot of people get X-Men 1 signed. You know, there's a million. It's literally the most sold comic book of all time, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I saw people getting it signed. I'm just like, I don't really get it because you know, there's literally millions of copies out there, and he's probably signed like tens of thousands of them. So to me, it's like you should get something like a little more special and rare signed. So I was really happy to get this book signed. So yeah, that's about it with Jim Lee. And then next, let's see, some other artists and people I got signed were Arthur Sweedum. I think that's his name. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, Arthur Sweedum. But yeah, he does a lot of like zombie books. He's pretty cool. So what he did was, for him, it's like if you buy something that he was selling, he would sign your books for free. So I brought this book in. I bought this book off of him, so he signed both of them. It's pretty cool, and he gives you a certificate as well. So his signature is like pretty gorgeous with the gold. So yeah. Let's see next. Stray Dogs, one of my favorite stories, independent news stories to come out recently. If you guys haven't read it yet, definitely check it out. So I got Tony Rodriguez signed my Stray Dogs books. I don't have a first print. I've been looking for one for a good price for a really long time, but I was able to get this. I think this is one of the variants. I don't know, I think it's like 5th printing or something, but this, he signed it, and he signed them for free as well, so really nice guy. He even did a sketch for me, like just a really all around upstanding guy. And then this one, the gallery variant signature. His signature is like really cool. He used like, I don't know if you guys can see this clearly, it's like, it looks like nail polish almost. But yeah, it's really cool. It's got this like thickness to it almost. So yeah, really cool guy. I do hope to interview him soon. I did hear some like behind the scenes stuff, which was pretty cool. I hope to interview him soon. For you guys who don't know, he did the cover for the, if you guys watched The Office, there was a comic book in there. It was like Adventures of Jim Halbert, something like that. He did that comic, so yeah, check him out. Next, let's see. Yeah, so this one is got signed by Pat Broderick. I think that's how you pronounce his last name, Broderick. And I was wanting to get it signed by John Beatty as well, but I forgot to get it signed because it was supposed to be a double signature, but I forgot, so that sucks. I'll try to catch him on the next one. But yeah, this is first appearance of Robin, you know, pretty cool cover. First appearance of Robin, Tim Drake Robin. Let's see. And then got this Secret Wars. Oh. I also got this Secret Wars signed by John Beatty. Pretty cool guy as well. He did a con with the other artists and writers of Secret Wars and Kraven's Last Hunt a few years back, and I didn't have these books back then, so I missed it, but I was happy to get him to sign these books for me. So, and then let's see, Secret Wars 7 for Spider-Woman. She's probably coming to the MCU soon. Yeah, where is it? It's right here. He signs these books a lot, so he does the same signature placement every time, which is pretty cool. And then lastly, of course, you guys know what comes next. This one, I bought a collection, and Secret Wars was in there. I think the whole run, or close to the whole run, was in there. This was in there, thankfully, but this one was in one of the worst conditions. So you can see there's spine ticks, there's like dirty cover and stuff, and it could use a press, but I don't even know if it's really worth it. He does charge more for Secret Wars 8, because that's the one everybody wants. I mean, I'll probably ask him this if he ever comes on the show, but I think I know the answer of like why he does that, but I am curious to like his reasoning behind it. Got some more books signed by Phil Jimenez. This book right here, Emma Frost, Jean Grey. Yeah, the silver was really running out, and unfortunately he was like, yeah, your silver's running out, but he already signed it. It's not like... So yeah, there's no undo button. Once it's signed, so make sure you get a work. Alright, so this is another book, pretty cool. I think this is the Daredevil and Spider-Man switch costumes. Got all these animals that she hunted, I guess. This is his signature. Where is it? Yeah, it's right there. You can barely see it. So yeah, I wish I had switched to a different marker. You know, so it's unfortunate, but it's a lesson learned for me. Always bring multiples, because I really didn't. It was a brand new marker. I really didn't think it was gonna wear out so quickly, but I got like 5-6 books signed, and it's already starting to fade. So yeah, bring doubles. And so let's see what's next. Bill Morrison. He did a lot of these Simpsons books. So his thing was like, if you bought something from his table, he signed stuff for free. So got this pretty cool Radioactive Man comic. They sold this at 7-Elevens, and could only get it at 7-Eleven, which is pretty cool. And so this wrapping is still on there. Bill Morrison. Yeah, this was one of the first comic books I ever got. I didn't even really know what Free Comic Book Day was back then, but that was kind of what got me into comics in the first place. So yeah, he's got a really gorgeous, you know, nice flowing signature, really clear. And yeah, great placement too. So for his, he used a black Sharpie, and you know, I was okay with that. For these more colorful backgrounds and like white backgrounds, I would say go with black. The reason I generally prefer gold is because, I don't know if able to see on this, but like gold, silver, all those like bronze, those Sharpies, like if you get stuff signed with that, like it shimmers. So I just like that look personally. I'm not a huge fan of like when people use like red or green or blue or whatever, you know, like personally I prefer black, or just like one of those silver or gold colors. So yeah, but black is good for colorful or like white background. So you know, this shows up pretty nicely. Another Radioactive Man comic, and The Simpsons issues #1. Yeah, they when Disney took over Fox, they discontinued this comic book series. I think they were at like issue 150 or 250 or something like that. But they did end it like a few years ago, unfortunately. But yeah, they had like a pretty long run, like many years. So yeah, this is issue #1. He signed it. Pretty cool. Let's see what else. This book right here, signed by Tom King. He has a pretty interesting signature. I never expected it to look like that. It looks like kind of a alien symbol almost, like looks like a 7 mixed with something else. But yeah, his signature is pretty like simple. Yeah, this is one of the books, and then I got another book. This first book from his Batman run. Got his signature, and then got Matt Banning as well. He signed it right on the cape, which is pretty cool. Sorry, right here. Yeah, he's pretty. Tom King's a pretty cool guy. Talked with him for a bit while he was signing, and I did ask him about it. He was like, yeah, this first appearance, Gotham and Gotham Girl. So I was like, oh, so you consider this their first appearance? And he was like, yeah, because like even though they only appear on like the last page, it's still an appearance, and I don't think Gotham Girl talks either. So I was surprised he considered it their first appearance, and I was like, well, because number 2 is really when they talk more and interact more. So he's really they're only on the last page of this one. So I was surprised, but he's like, yeah, they're on the cover. So he considers, he's their creators, and he considers issue 1 to be their first appearance. So it's pretty interesting. Got some other books signed by Matt Banning. Dark Avengers 48, signed it right there. He's a pretty cool guy. Hang on, it's about to run out again. Yeah, he was a pretty cool guy. We talked a little bit. Cool guy, and yeah, he signed all the books for free, which is pretty cool. He was like, yeah, everyone's just coming out of the pandemic, so I wanted to do something nice for the fans, which I thought was really cool. He did have a lot of like prints and stuff for sale. I didn't buy one, unfortunately. I just could not carry like more stuff. Like it just would have been like too difficult for me to just carry. So I did feel a little bad for not buying anything, since he did do all the signatures for free. So in the future, yeah, like if an artist or a writer does sign like your books for free, like it's common courtesy to like buy something. I was just unprepared this time around, so yeah. But yeah, cool guy. And Dark Avengers 49, signed it right down here. I like these 3 covers, and then issue 50, signed it up here. Pretty cool. So yeah, 3 Billy Tan covers that he inked for. Let's see what else. Then I got these books signed by Ramos. I use gold on these, and these look really sharp. The gold like shimmers and flickers. First Champions. There was an old team like many years ago. I think like back in the 30s or something. But this new team of like the young teen heroes is more, I guess, popular nowadays. So it's pretty cool to have this book. And then this book, Strange Academy, was hot for so long. I remember I bought this book right when it came out from the website. I got it for like $30, I think, and now it's like over 100. Gorgeous peach Momoko variant, and he signed it right here on the bottom, Humberto Ramos. And then, yeah, I'll save this book for last. And then First Alpha, pretty cool. And this I bought also. I also bought off the newsstand at Barnes and Noble. So sorry for the glare. Yeah, this is actually a newsstand copy. It's in pretty good condition for being a newsstand. I've kept it all these years. First appearance of Alpha, kind of a minor Spider-Man character. So he signed it right here on the bottom. Pretty cool. And then the last book, this book, also bought off the shelf. Unfortunately, this one is not a newsstand, but I am happy to get this one signed as well. First appearance of Silk, who is likely appearing in a movie sometime. I contemplated doing CGC or not for this book and a couple other books, but I ultimately decided not to do CGC. I hope I can get the other people who worked on the book to sign it. I just made a decision to not do CGC anymore moving forward. Couple of different reasons and factors. I just don't think it's worth it. I'll probably make another video on it, like why I don't think CGC is worth it. And so yeah, that's my the books I got signed. So it was pretty fun and cool experience. So hopefully you guys learned something and will be more prepared than I was moving forward. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. See you guys next time.